How did I make all this money as a senior developer? This is a question I've been asked 10,000 times in my live on Twitch. Today, we're gonna answer to this question before the vlog.
To make money as a software engineer, it's pretty simple. You need to master 4 basics. The number 1 is not the skill actually is the number 3. The number 1, the first skill that you need to master is your self-confidence. So when you speak, you need to speak with confidence. It means that you need to choose the correct words. You need to be able to convey the information, that you know what you are doing and that you can solve the problem. Because making money as a software engineer, selling software to people, selling software to businesses is about understanding their problem and to let them understand and to be sure that you are sure of what you are doing. You need to convey this certainty, removes the risk from the customer. The customer, he has a problem. This problem is a risk for his business because it's gonna kill his business or it's gonna maybe prevent him to launch the business. So you need to come and to remove the risk. And you remove the risk by giving the feeling to the customer that you know what you are doing. That's the most important. Number 2, most important is the network. Who do you know? Why people should work with you? That's the second most important thing, is where you're gonna find the customers. Because even if you know where you're gonna find the customers, if you cannot convince them that you're gonna solve their problem and remove the risk from their shoulder, you cannot transform the leads into customers. So the network, it sounds very complicated for a developer to be able to find where to find people, but actually it's pretty simple. There is 2 kinds of people who are gonna give you work. Number 1 is other developers, because they are looking for good developers all the time. Most of the time, you go in a company, they try to hire good developers, they cannot find good developers because it's very hard. And now the market is different than 5 years ago because we have the LLMs and the AI right now. The issue with the AI is the Gen Z coders coming into the market right now. They are 24, 25, 22. They are used to vibe code, and there is many things about vibe coding that I could say. I love vibe coding. I hate vibe coding at the same time. But if you was not in the trenches when it was very hard to debug an issue with Stack Overflow and Google, I would say that you don't have the skills to properly use the AI. Well, that's a bold claim. But anyway, it's not about AI, it's about network. So it's very hard for people to find good developers, so they need to know you, and they need to know you as a high confidence. It's a C, it's not a E right here. High confidence developer. That's very, very important. So you're gonna meet them in meetups, for example, events in your city. You go to events and you speak with people. You don't care about what you speak. You can speak about anything. You can speak about vibe coding. You can speak about software. You can speak about relationships. You can speak about anything. The only important thing is you go meet people every week. When you don't have customers, you go meet people every week and you let people know you. That's the number 2 important thing. You need to have people to know you. It's very, very important. So it can be tech people or business people. Go to tech events, go to business events. You're gonna find more customers in business events, but in tech events, you're gonna find people who can call you when they need someone. And this is extremely important, that you have other people who can call you when they need someone. Business events, tech events, go there, speak with people. It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is you speak with confidence and you have a high self-confidence. You can work on your self-confidence. There is many methods to do it. This is not a personal development or self-help course. This is not a video about how to boost your self-confidence. There is thousands of resources online. I would say that the 2 main methods that I've been using, it's journaling. So I'm writing stuff all the time, every day, all day long. I have tens of books like this. And meditation. Self-confidence is about working on your traumas and why you are not self-confident, why you cannot speak with confidence. That's about working on yourself, journaling, meditation. Look about some other resources. Number three, of course, it's gonna be your skills. Because if you don't understand what is it to build software, you don't understand how to solve the problems of your potential customers, of your leads. So your skills, you need to master all the stack. Okay, there is a ton of resources online. I'm trying to find a specific one, but yeah, let's say you want to sell websites, web apps, not websites, like not WordPress or stuff like this. You need to master all of that. You need to master the front, the back, the database, and you need to be able to translate business needs into tech requirements. So basically, I have a customer, he has an application, the application has issues, cannot scale up the number of users, the servers are crashing. Okay. The business requirement is I need to handle more users on my app, and my job is to think about what kind of layers there is in the stack and where it could fail, and put my focus where it could fail by order of probability. For example, that's a very simple example. Another example is you have a customer to open an e-commerce website. Okay, you want to sell online. Choice number one would be to go on Shopify. You need to know Shopify. You need to know why Shopify works, what is the cost of Shopify, why it's a good idea if you want to have tens of thousands of users. Right now, I'm stuck with a PrestaShop website, and that's part of the difficulty of the mission is I need to be able to find the correct solution to scale up a PrestaShop website. And you don't want to say to your customer, oh, you have a PrestaShop website, it's very bad, you cannot scale up, you cannot have more users, you need to migrate everything to Shopify because this is the right way to do e-commerce in 2026, since 2020. You cannot do that because it's too costly. So you need to be able to find the appropriate solution, and this comes from the skills. So you need to practice the skills. And if you are young vibe coder, you need to deep dive into the technicality of what you are doing. You cannot just prompt and hope that it's gonna bring up the correct architecture, because it's not the case. It's never gonna be the case. So you need to master the architecture. And the last one, number 4, it's the communication. Communication, it's critical that you are able to communicate properly. So communication and self-confidence, they are linked somehow. They are linked together. If you have low self-confidence, you will have a pretty poor communication. And if you have high self-confidence, you tend to have a better communication. But communication is not only about the words you use, the pace that you speak, the tone that you use. It's also about the ideas that you want to convey. And I would say it's 20% what you say and 80% what you listen. And I not say here, I say listen. Because you need to understand your customer. And also, you need to understand your customer. But you absolutely need that your customer understands that you understand him. Okay? So it's not only about what you understand, it's about what you convey to the other person. It's part of confidence, it's part of skills, and it's a huge part of communication. The guy, he needs to be 100% sure that you understand everything about him and about his problem. And then the customer doesn't need to understand how you're going to solve the problem. He needs to be sure that you understand how you're going to solve the problem. Once again, making money is removing the risk from the customer by bringing your expertise. Basically, that's how you make money with customer. That's how you can sell your skills, self-confidence to a network with high skills, and the ability to communicate your skills with confidence. That's how it's done. That's how it works. There is no magic. So you need to work on those 4 skills. And if you have a good level in the 4 basics, you will make money. Okay, that's all. Now I'm gonna work for my customer. That's gonna be the next part of the vlog, and I'm gonna show what is real world solution for a real world problem. Okay, let's start on how did I found this customer. So I was talking about the importance of network. This one is a special case. I have one cousin. This cousin is working in HK in Hong Kong, okay? And he was working with someone named, gonna call Us, okay? So Us was someone I talked with because I wanted to raise funds for my game Pattaya. And my cousin made me meet Us, and we talked for many hours about what was the shares structure, what was the possible outcomes, the risk, what I need, why I need the money for, etc. and all of that. Us didn't make the investment, but because I'm confident, because I'm skilled, because I'm able to communicate, I stayed in the head of... And Us has a friend that's named Abdel, okay? This is the third guy, okay? And Abdel, he was visiting Us in his house. They were speaking together, and Abdel was saying, okay, I have this problem in my company, this problem, I work with a developer, but I cannot rely on them. And Us, he said, look, I know JB is here, and JB is skilled, JB is trustable, so let me link you with JB. They call me, I speak with Abdel, up, and finally the connection is made, and I start working with Abdel. So Abdel, in the first call, he explained me, okay, I have some problems. I have an application, okay, in Flutter. He doesn't even know it's in Flutter, but me, I know, speak after in Flutter. And I also have a website in PrestaShop, but PrestaShop is not used for the website. It's just used as a backend for the Flutter app. Okay, in my mind, I say, oh, it's a pretty strange setup, but why not? And I'm working with another company. This company, they have made the PrestaShop website and the Flutter backend. Okay, why not? And they cannot find why the PrestaShop backend is crashing after a while. So I listened to him. Finally, we made a meeting, everybody up with the company. We make the meeting like this, and I start to investigate. I find the solution. He start to be very happy. I start to solve this problem, and he's very happy. Finally, this guy is out because they don't answer to the calls and they don't work when they are expected to work, and they cannot solve the problem in many months, and I can solve the problem in weeks. So this is the point 3, this is the skills, okay? Because I'm able to understand the problem because of my skills, so I'm able to communicate with my customer and to tell him, okay, don't worry, I understand the problem, I understand what is the problem, and I'm gonna solve the problem. And I solve the problem, and then after I get the trust of the customer. The other service guy is removed, and now I'm alone and I have to fix all the remaining problems. So now we have another problem. The problem is my customer, he has 2 warehouses, okay? And he sells to customers. They come to the warehouse, they buy stuff, they come to one warehouse, they buy the stuff and they go back home, okay? It's like they buy TV, mattress, stuff for the kitchen. There is like thousands of products, thousands of references, and there is another warehouse, but he doesn't know the stock in the warehouse, and he doesn't know the stock neither here or there, okay? This is managed by Odoo. Odoo, it's a French company, and they make a bunch of stuff. It's all like administration system, all your business in one platform. Simple, efficient, and cheap. It's $13 per month for every apps. And there is a bunch of stuff. There is a knowledge, accounting, CRM, subscriptions, timesheets, project documents, discussions, POS, point of sales, but a ton of stuff. Website, marketing, email, social marketing, human resources, dashboard, sales, crafting, I don't even know why, inventory, stock, everything in Odoo. And this is very, very convenient for him to have the cashier in Odoo. So we have Odoo. We have 2 warehouses, and we have PrestaShop. Okay, PrestaShop with the Flutter app, okay? So this is in 1 DB, this is another DB. There is no synchronization of the stock between the 2 locations, 2 applications. So this is Odoo, this is PrestaShop, and there is no synchronization of anything between the 2. And the problem we have is, for example, on Sunday, it's 8 p.m. The store is closed, okay? Because it's already late. and there is someone buying a TV on the application. Okay. The problem, there is only one remaining TV in the warehouse. No, sorry. Let's explain me different. So there is no stock here. So you can see the TV and the application thinks there is like 90 units available. In reality, there is only one in the warehouse, and on the Sunday, there is someone buying it. Okay, so now there is no TV. But on the application, there is still 90 units. And what will happen? You can have someone buying it on the Sunday night, and on the Monday morning, you come back, you see there is one sale on the TV, but the last one left yesterday, so there is no TV left. So they need to call the customer, okay? They need to call the customer, they need to say, we are sorry, we sold the last TV yesterday, it was a mistake on the application, there is no stock anymore, blah, 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 problems, times lost, customer lost, money lost. That's the problem my customer has right now, today. So my goal is to build a system which let him not only unify the stocks, because it would be too easy, it's not enough. What I have to do, we have the application, okay? So I need to give him a tool so he can walk inside the warehouse and check for the stocks and in live update the stocks inside the application. So he walk with the phone in the hand, he look at the stocks inside the warehouse, and then he just gonna say, okay, this TV there is 5 units, this fridge there is 10 units, etc., etc. And the stock will synchronize directly between PrestaShop, so the mobile application, and Odoo, the cashier application. So now in the app, you cannot sell something that you don't have. That's exactly what I have to solve right now. So the first step is to be able to make a plan in my head. So this is the skills part. So before it was the communication skill, okay? To understand this, I need to listen to my customer, I need to ask questions. So in order to make money, you need to understand the customer's needs. So I need to understand exactly what is the problem and to translate the problem into a technical solution. And this is the skills part. So yeah, basically what I have to do, I have to create some tables. I will create them the PrestaShop database because it's convenient, very easy to access, and I already have all the process in place. I can have cron job in PHP, I have the server, it's a VPS server, so pretty convenient and pretty easy. So I will create 2 tables. I need to create warehouse in Odoo. I need to create the tables in PrestaShop. Then I need to download all the list of products from Odoo, put them into PrestaShop, and I need to make the linkage between the 2 products. So this is something I need to do, the reconciliation. And then I need to create a screen in app in order to have the manual reconciliation when you cannot do the automatic reconciliation. Because of course, the names are different. The price are mostly similar, so I can probably match on the price and the name. But in PrestaShop, you have what it's called variant. So you have one product and you can have multiple variants, like a mattress. You have one product, mattress, 30 centimeters with this brand, and then you have different size in PrestaShop. But in Odoo, it's one product for one size. So I need to be able to match individual products in Odoo with variants in PrestaShop. This is something else, which comes from deep understanding on how it works, how the system works, and to plug the minimal solution. My goal is always create the minimal solution, not to over-engineer, not to do massive migration, massive refactoring. I try to stay minimalist. So yeah, that's the goal of today, and maybe it will not be finished today because I still need to validate some stuff. So when you make a sale on Odoo, so in the warehouse, in the physical location, it needs to impact the stocks, and the stocks needs to be impacted inside the application as well. So this is something I'm not sure, so I need to check that I'm able to query the correct tables in Odoo. I know that I can get the products, I know that I can get the stock per warehouse. I don't know if I can update the stock per warehouse, per product per warehouse, and get the sales and the POS sales. It's 2 different things because there is also franchise. So he has 2 franchise, they have specific prices. It does not come in the same table that the sales for the customers. So yeah, I need to be sure that I can get all the data the way I want. So this is something I will check now. This is the route I need to make available for the application. So the application needs to be able to update the stocks per product, to link product between PrestaShop and Odoo manually if the automatic matching cannot be done. The get Odoo missing stock, missing link. Yeah, if the stock has not been updated manually, you need to say, okay, that product was never matched in the stock, so we don't know how many products there is. That's the whole the whole stuff. Le fait de faire des vidéos, au moins l'audience devient canard. J'ai pas compris. Canard, c'est-à-dire non, ça va, tu peux m'interrompre, c'est ok. So what I have to do also is to check the user journey to be sure that what we show in the application in the admin panel is what the customers need. And yeah, I still have some questions and some future iterations, but it should be removed. No, maybe not remove. I want to keep it in mind, and I will make a dedicated section for this later. So now my goal will be to check if I can have access to the API route. And when I have more information, I will be able to finish the design, the system design. And once I have the global system design, I will make a more detailed document and then I will implement. Yeah, basically that's how it's done. So my workflow is to work a lot with the AI. It depends of what I'm using. Sometimes ChatGPT 5.2, sometimes Claude Opus. By the way, I'm on Copilot Plus because there is a cheat code to have like a nearly free generation. I answered all the questions, so I have all the scripts that I've been testing, the API, the Odoo API. So now the goal will be to think about the architecture to uniformize everything and to not repeat and to factorize. So I will create a PHP Odoo API client that is able to hit the routes that I need to hit. I will use obviously the AI to help me formalize everything about the architecture and be very explicit and very clear to make a clean document. Then it will integrate it. And yeah, I just had a new ID. So there is a difference in Odoo between the product ID and the template ID. This is stupid, we don't want to store it. But it proposed to store also the barcode. The barcode is not something that is used right now in the application, but it could be very cool if my customer can just run into the alley of the warehouse and scan the barcode of the product, and there is directly the product on the application. Like it can find the product by barcode. It will be really awesome, and it's something he asked me, so it's not something I'm creating out of my mind. It's gonna be on a good way today. Okay, so we have some documents. We have this document which basically factorize the script test we had, and it creates a Odoo client for PHP. It's gonna work. Already implemented, and now we have a huge document of 600 lines that I need to read to be sure that there is no mistakes. For example, I can see there is a mistake already because in my file I was saying we want 3 tables. Finally I said we want only 2, and it started to say we're gonna add 3 tables. Basic mistake. So I need to read again all this document to arbitrage the choices, to make choices, to say this is good, this is bad, this is stupid, this is smart. And yeah, once it's done, we're gonna start the implementation. Okay, so we have the planification for the backend PHP side of things, the database and the Flutter app. So it just like my initial document, which was a draft made in something more technical and more details. I read the document, it's accurate, it's good. I had some changes to make. And now I realize that I don't want to test against the Odoo production database, of course. So I will create an Odoo mock app API running locally in Docker in order to be able to test my integration. We already have all the data tables we need from Odoo, so we know how it's working, we know how the API is working, so we'll be able to do that. The only thing is that it's a XML RPC protocol, so it's something which is absolutely not common. So I'm afraid that it's going to be a bit of a headache to set up. But yeah, once again, Claude Opus, he's doing a great job when you tell him exactly what to do. From the plan, propose local implementation of Odoo API mock, which on local MySQL database. We need to have all the features implemented in 3 warehouses. Create an implementation document along the other docs. let's go. Okay, we have the Odoo mockup environment, so we're gonna execute everything. You're gonna create all the stuff. There is some mockup data that we have too, which is the data from production. So it's gonna be pretty good. I think I will probably not have the time to finish it today. We're gonna have to go to the market in 1 hour. So it's working on the side, on the Odoo mockup and the implementation of the PHP API and all that stuff. And on the side, I discovered Suno. I wanted to check what it has to offer, because when I'm live, the big issue is always the rights of the tracks. Even if I subscribe to a service which lets you play some tracks, you always have the same tracks. So it's a repeat every day. And it's very complicated to get fresh tracks for the live. On Twitch, it's not that much a problem. The only problem is the VOD. You lose the VOD. There is entire period of time where you are mute, basically. So it's not cool. And you cannot live without music. Everybody wants to have music. The live is like a radio. So you have me speaking plus the track. And for the YouTube videos that we are making right now, for the long format, we also want to have some music, and it's the same pain to get something that you can play in the music in the video. So I want to try Suno, and it's amazing. The result is amazing. You have the music since the beginning of the video, because I'm using this one for this video, and it's insane. The quality is insane. Okay, it's time to go market. Okay, we have a bunch of documents. All the specs has been created. We even have a lot of code written and implemented. Implemented is a big word, because we need to do a lot of tests. But yeah, it's mostly going in the right direction. So it prepares to write some more code. There is a lot of moving parts between the database, Odoo, the PrestaShop backend, the Flutter API, there is cron jobs, there is API routes. But I think it's gonna be okay. I will stop here for today and I will continue tomorrow. And now I will move on the daily YouTube video edit. So we are live, we are on stream, and we're gonna do this on stream. Making the video today was much more complicated than yesterday. The video editing was very long. I had to cut all the white space when explaining how to find a customer. It was very long. It took me like 45 minutes. So my goal on the side is to get a script working, which will be able to take a clip, like every clip I do during the days, and to remove the white space in the clip and make a shortened clip without the white space when I stop speaking, like now. It takes a lot of time because it's a pretty complicated problem to cut the sound and to cut the clips. We tried many approaches and now we might have one approach. So basically when we try the simple approach, it can only cut within keyframes. So basically, what is a keyframe? Let me explain you what is a keyframe. You have the video like this, and the video has frames. Okay, so it's basically it's 60 frames per second. So it's 60 images per second. And instead of doing 60 new images per second, what it does, it does keyframes and then it makes a difference between the keyframe. The blue one here is a full frame, okay? It's a full HD JPEG. It's a full HD image with every pixel inside the image. And then the green one are only differences, which makes the video lighter, but it also means that you cannot cut here for an obscure reason, or maybe it's Claude Hopper saying shit, I don't know. It seems to have found a solution, so we'll try it.
It's working!
And my cousin
It's working!
made me It's working now, it's automatic now. We can cut. Yeah, I removed 4 minutes of video. That's wonderful. I love this. And we talk. Oh, JB is here.